Hey, welcome back. Whoa, nearly got him. Another day, another vlog. Hope you're all well out there. Well, we've got the new video camera and we're testing it out today. The M50's here, the little girl. We're shooting on our Vixia RF H800. And I think the reason I'm trying this, I got a second hand on eBay and it was definitely the right price. I think they're about $600 or $800 new. I think I only got it for about $250, so a bargain in that regards. I need something so I can do a little bit more while I'm talking about this, while I'm filming. We did try the Lumix, which had a nice picture, but and waterproof and everything, and we fought along that lines, and I've got that sort of still there as my waterproof if it's raining option. But video-wise, just for like ease and cheap, I've often wondered why do we use guys used with the basically with the Sony coming out, it's basically a video camera in a photography body. It's pretty much, from all reports, it's pretty much useless as a photography camera. It's only 12 megapixel, which is pretty darn low. It'd be probably really good for astrophotography, but for $6,000, really, when you can buy an R5 or an R6, the R6 are going to be a hell of a lot better overall photography. It'll blow it out the water and you get decent video. You're not going to get the video of the Sony, but you're still going to get decent video and get that hybrid, which is what it's all about. And I think that's why a lot of people use these, because they're hybrid. I can shoot really good video, I can shoot 4K on the M50, and I can take awesome photos, and I can do everything with that. No dramas at all. But why don't they just use a little video camera? So this is a bit of a ongoing test to see how it is. I want to be able to compare this footage to that of my M50, see why the difference. This is probably brand new, is worth about the same price as the M50. Obviously, it's just a video camera. What can I do on that? What can I achieve? I guess we'll go from there, and that's the plan with it anyway, to suss it all out and see why you need to have. Can I just have a video? Should I just be running a video camera when I'm doing video? It's stable, fully stabilized. It's tiny, so it fits in my bag. I can put it on my Joby when I'm walking around, and I can vlog with it. So I'll be definitely able to vlog with that. I've got my Rode Wireless Go connected to it. That was one of the big things. I had to get to the right level so I could have a mic jack input. So I make sure I get me good sound. I've got the flippy variable screen so I can see myself. So it covers pretty much all the bases you want from a vlogging. It's just not got any photography, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper. So that's my idea, to compare that against this. It's HD, so it's 1080. I only normally shoot in 1080 on this because of the file storage, and storing 4K files is just crazy. Down the track, I'm probably going to look at going to 4K, but just all depends. It's a bit tricky smashing those files out when I've only get 120 gig a month from my phone, and I've got to use my phone to run everything at work for 2 weeks. So some months I pretty much go close, and I can't get any more. It costs me $10 every gig after that, so it's pretty expensive here in Australia for that regard. So that's the idea behind it. Today's the first day, the first test. I have played around with a bit of settings overnight. I think I've got it pretty good. I'm running in cinema style vivid. No, I'm running in cinema style in a vivid color aspect. So it's going to take a few goes to try and work out the sweet spot here. Obviously, I've got the lighting and stuff. Outdoors are going to be different. I'm not quite sure if I can. I don't think there's any ND filter thread. So that's the only other difference I'm going to have, is that ND filter, is how that's going to work. That's the only thing I hadn't looked at, if I can screw on ND, but I don't think I can with this one. So again, that'll see how we go in the light and that. Now, will the lenses be the reason why? will the lenses be the big important thing? That's the only answer I've sort of had back was the lenses. Are the lens qualities that good in the photography, and is that the reason why they make video look good? Obviously, you use cinema lenses, which are proper lenses when you go up to big video cameras. So is that the reason why these ones with inbuilt cameras are no good? So that's my theory behind it. It'll be a bit of an ongoing test, and we'll go from there. And hopefully I can find a solution. It's a bit of a thing. This was sort of, the picture was really nice out of that, but I couldn't get any good sound, so the sound was terrible. Other than that, it wasn't too bad. Stabilization wasn't amazing, but it was okay. Just pretty much general, didn't have any really optical stabilization or digital. Other than that, it was really good. It's a good little handy snapper that I can use on my fishing trips and stuff like that. Or if it's pouring rain, I can chuck it in and just film with that. But yeah, obviously having sound go into this is a big chance, a big difference, and it should make it a little bit better. So we'll see how we go. I did get new batteries and my new card for this, so that's all going well. I'm looking for a lens for that. I want to get a wide angle one so I can do some more sort of star stuff. I've only got the 28-80 for this at the moment, so just trying to find the right one at the right price. I'm looking at a little Canon EF 15mm 2.8, so that'll be perfect to give this a crack with the star stuff. And then I can sort of maybe shoot with that and this, and then I've got the video camera. And obviously we'll see how this goes in low light as well. That's the other thing with that, is to see if this can handle the low light a little bit better, because the GoPro is pretty useless basically. So that's my other option. I've got the GoPro, which I can sort of covers a bit of waterproof. When I've got the sound plugged in, basically I lose all the waterproof anyway. So this was my next best thing. Anyway, that's what this is all about. So if it looks a bit different, let me know if it looks better or worse than the last episode or thing, and we'll go from there. And I'll probably shoot my first video of this on Monday. I want to do a sunrise at Bells Rapids. I want to get that golden glow coming through the valley and over the water and the rocks. It's been a while since I've been out there, so I thought that'd be pretty cool. And I've done a bit of research on photo pills to suss it all out and check it all out. Checked cloud and windy, and to check for the clouds. Going to be crystal clear, so Monday morning I'm going to shoot out there for that one. Rightio. News-wise, there's a little bit there, not massive amount, not anything huge and massively exciting. A couple of things to talk about. TikTok. TikTok's had a heap of dramas. I think India's banned them. USA is currently looking at banning them. So is probably half a dozen other developed countries looking at just shutting it down because of security issues. India is also looking at banning, I think, about another half a dozen big name ones as well. Alibaba and AliExpress, they're looking at getting banned by India, so you won't be able to have them on your phone. Stuff like that. So pretty huge in regards to the security issues going on with China. I think everyone's having a few dramas with China at the moment, not only just Australia. So pretty big deal. Now there's TikTok. Obviously they're looking at outs. They've got a lot of big investors with a lot of money involved here. It's a huge platform. It's the big thing at the moment. So it's also causing a lot of financial pain. So they're trying to work out a bit of a solution, and one of those solutions is if the Chinese companies that own it sell out their share, sell it to an international company where the security issues can then be addressed, and to make sure that it's all happy so the platform doesn't just disappear. It can stay in check and continue to grow and evolve. Now, so to do that, they had to get a costing. So the current estimate of that, was watching a bit of Lou later, he was saying that they're currently estimated at $50 billion, which is pretty insane for a little app on your phone, for people to do crazy shit and with music in the background. So there you go. That's what TikTok is worth currently, $50 billion. If you've got a spare $50 billion laying in your back pocket, maybe Jeff Bezos might buy it for someone for a birthday present or something, or Christmas. he's the richest man, so he's about the only one that can afford it, and it really not affect him. Probably wouldn't be surprised if he bought it and put it into the Amazon business. But 50 bill, that's not a bad little paycheck. I'm not sure how it's all started or who it started with, but I'm sure they never envisaged it getting to the dizzying heights of $50 billion valuation. That's pretty darn amazing. Sony, if you're a YouTube regular, you would have noticed today Sony has got a video up, a premiere set for August the 6th at 11 o'clock EDT time with the hashtag Listen with Sony announcement to be coming. So just sort of feeding into that, I would assume it's something along Listen with Sony. It's going to be something musically orientated. Listen, so you narrow it down, it's going to be some sort of headphone. They do currently have two awesome noise cancelling headphone sets. They've got the little wireless buds, which are really, really good, very close to Apple's Pro version, and if not as good, probably the next best thing to the Apple Pros. They've also got the over-ear, I think they're the WMX 1000s or something. They're considered probably on par with, again, if not as good as, or better, than the Bose Noise Quiet, which are basically the other. They're your best two options for noise cancelling headphones you can get on the planet. And, well, looks like Sony's just about to release something big and something new with the headphones. So coming off the back of their new camera release with the A7R3 or A7SR3, A7, not an R, A7S3. That's a terrible name to try and remember. They're obviously they've got a few things coming through, and they're staggering them in. They're not just doing one big thing. So that'll be out. I'd say it's just going to be a video, much like the camera was. So August 6th, you can go on, you can put a reminder on your thing for YouTube. So if you're looking for a new set of headphones, I suggest maybe hold off. That's only a couple of weeks away. Hold off for that. You might be able to either get that model or the model, the previous Sony ones, I'm assuming, would then drop in price. Good chance to pick up a bargain and get a really good set of headphones. So not far away from that. Look at that. Now, also chucking into that, the new Xperia phone, Sony's new Xperia phone, which is very camera photography orientated, which is apparently a really good phone. You probably don't hear about between the Samsungs, the Apples, and the OnePlus Nords and all the other rubbish. It looks a really nice phone, and it's the only one I've thought about going back to. I just don't know about having to deal with Android. I've never had to have an Android. I went from the Sony Ericsson to the first iPhone. I don't know whether I'll go back, but I think I'm not far off thinking about it. Definitely. I've definitely got to see what this new iPhone 12 comes out. I'm not sure if Apple is really here to stay. I think this is the first time in since 2007 when I seen the iPhone. It's the first time since that date that I've even thought about getting another phone. And definitely this year, if the iPhone 12 isn't up to par, or we're going to talk about some of these prices for it, we'll see how we go. That looks like a great option. Very sleek, stylish, minimalistic. It's a phone, but it's got great little photography features in there, which is quite handy for me. iPhone 12, let's go into that. The pricing leaks, boys over on Lou Later again, just an epicenter of what's happening, and get all the good GIF, all the good chatter and news out. Pricing leaks for the iPhone. Someone on Twitter has dropped a big list of the prices in the phone, so just run through them. Again, this is just a leak, so not 100% confirmed, but probably not far off. Now, this will be US dollars, so you just need to do a bit of a rough conversion, and I'd say this is probably less tax, so you'll have to add the tax on depending. They have taxes in each state, so depending where you are, you can go in here up to 10%, I think, and some of them are 2 or 3 or 4%. I think Florida is one of the cheapest ones, or Delaware is one of the cheapest sales tax places. So you got to add a little bit more onto that. So for the 12, you've got basically 4 models, the 12 with 5G and the 12 Max 5G. Then you've got a 12 Pro, then you've got a 12 Pro Max. So for the 12, for the 5G, you go from a 64 gig up to 258 gig. Then that's ranging from $699 US to $849. So I think our dollars finally started to recover a touch. So we're just over 70. So that's basically $1,000 upwards. The 12 Max 5G, that's a 6.1 inch screen. So the 12 5G is a 5.4, which I think is a fantastic size. The 12 Max 5G, which is 6.1, that goes from $799 US to $949 US. So that's a little bit over 1,000 to, well, you're looking at probably around about the $1,500 mark. Now the 12 Pro, which is a 6.1, so it starts at the 12 Max's size range, so you don't go back down to the 5.4 for some reason. That's the bit I don't really like. I like that small form factor. It's strange that they're not doing that again. Now that's going to start at $1,049 to $1,349. Now normally they have the extra cameras and stuff on them, so that's a big jump. You're looking at, well, it's only $50 up from the 12 Max, and it's the same size, so that's really not that much. Oh, sorry, $100 difference. So if you're going to go the 12 Max, you might as well go the Pro for the extra 100. You're probably going to get a hell of a lot more camera. There's really no, I don't even know why they're bringing out a 12 Max if it's only $100 difference. You might as well just go the 12 5G at the small 5.4, then go the Pro, and then the Pro Max. But yeah, anyway, what would I know? Now once you do get to the Pro, your storage goes up. It starts at 128 and it'll go up to 512 gig, which is just insane in a phone. I think my MacBook Pro 13 inch was a 500 gig storage, and now and that was 2004. 2004, yeah. Yeah, 2004. So yeah, it's insane. Now that's gone up. It's just insane. It's been the same in a phone. 500 gig storage in a phone compared to my old laptop, which I only just changed about a month or so ago. So a bit over a month. And now, like a computer, laptop's started about one. I think you start at 500 gig. Average is about 1 terabyte. So for a phone to have that much storage is insane. That's $1,049 to $1,349. Obviously for the 512 gig. The 12 Pro Max 6.7 inch, that starts at $1,149 and goes up to $1,449. So a little bit of a against the price. So if we're on about $700, so your top of the range iPhone 12 Max is going to be 2,000 Australian dollars. Probably a little bit extra on that for sales taxes and GST and bits and pieces. So definitely a $2,000 camera for the top of the range, which is friggin' insane. CES 2021. So that's the big tech show, normally held in Vegas in January. It's one I've wanted to get through for years. I've gone a couple of times to Vegas in January and missed the show, or not had a business when I've gone and just missed it. It's one of those things I've really always wanted to go to. I think it'd be kid in a candy store type scenario. Well, due to COVID, even in January, they've pushed it back out and canning it. They've already canned it now. We're still in July, nearly the end of July, but that's 6 months away. And CES is basically going, well, it's just not going to happen. We're going to shut this down. What they're looking at is a virtual experience, which is something that's going to be hard to portray. Obviously, these shows are about building relationships with customers, with dealers, with getting hands on the new products, playing with them, seeing firsthand how a TV screen looks, the difference between mini LED and a micro LED TV, and then now you've got to go and sell that to a customer or to your stores that you manage and say that this is going to be better than that and you need to do that. This is what's coming. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. Obviously, Apple and all that have done their releases online. There's been a heap of releases over June and that. We've talked about it a few times in the show. The Canon one was pretty well done, I guess. They had some people in there talking, but it's sort of, I think Apple really does it the best, and even theirs was a virtual, and it was probably the best, but it must have cost a friggin' fortune for all these different businesses, and there's probably a lot of little businesses as well as big businesses that go along to the CES that get that exposure, and they get all these big wigs come and see. They walk past a little stall like this and go, "Oh yeah, look mate, have you seen my new camera? This I can shoot in 3D, full depth of field, and it's full dynamic, 300 stops dynamic range, and rah. I can show you here." They're the guys, I think, that will suffer. The big guys, it won't matter because they can do the big Apple events online and showcase their stuff and spend that money. The smaller, mid-tier and lower tier businesses that are trying to get exposure to get that first big break out there, I think they're the ones that are going to be hurt by this, by not having that flow through to people to see them, to come check it out. The big customers that own 1,000 stores that can come through and go, "Hey, I like that. We want to sell that in our store." So I think that's where it's going to really hurt the people. I don't think the Sonys, the Samsungs, the Hisenses and LGs, they're not going to be affected. It's going to be the littler guys that need to get their name out there with that product, that one that's going to make them become one of those big businesses in 10, 20 years. So that's where it's going to hurt, but it's done and dusted. It's going to hurt Vegas as well. Vegas has been trying to get things going again. I love it. It's one of my favourite cities on the planet. If not, it's a big toss-up between Amsterdam, Vegas or New York or Tokyo. There's 4, but I think Vegas for food, shopping, fun, and being able to see and do everything, you're pretty hard to beat it. It's got the best of everything. It's amazing. So yeah, they're struggling, and that's another massive event where you get a couple of 100,000 people not coming. So that's going to they're going to struggle. I think it's going to be a year or so before Vegas can get back on track. So not good news for those guys as well. And for all those people that work in those hotels and chains and stuff. So sad. Positive stuff. If you're a filmmaker and you haven't heard of Rode, Australian company, they make amazing microphones and audio technical equipment. So for podcasters, your switches, all sorts of gear, they do an amazing job. They're really, really cool, and they're Australian, so I'm very proud to push them forward. I did the podcasting competition. They do an annual podcasting comp every year, and you can win a lot of good prizes. Part of that, I've set up my podcast, which you're now listening to on, I think we're on 7 different platforms. And thank you if you are listening to us on the podcast. Thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. It's a pretty cool way of doing things, a podcast. You can do it daily. If you've got an ugly head like me and you don't want to show it, you can just go and talk and say how you feel and put what you in. It costs you pretty much nothing. It's free to podcast on, I think I use Anchor, and they do a really good job. They split it up and send it out to everywhere. They heaps of support, and it's pretty easy to do. You don't need a lot of amazing gear to do it. So, well, this year, every year also, Rode does the Filmmaker Challenge, and it's $1 million in prizes. They got a huge amount of sponsors, and amazing thing, you've got to do a 3-minute video. There's a few different things you can sort of aim it towards. Go to Rode. It'll be all over their website. There's a video on YouTube talking all about it. You can go and get a bit of info that way and have a bit of a look. If you are an up-and-coming guy or girl, and you're a kid or whatever, and you're just learning the video game, you want to see what it's all about, you think you want to see what level you are, if you're any good, or if your concepts are good, this could be the one for you. It doesn't cost you anything to join. You can just got to make a 3-minute video with a behind the scenes on it as well. This could be the one for you. Go check it out. You can't win if you're not in it, and this is free entry, so you've definitely got to have a crack at this. It's definitely worthwhile. So Rode Reel 2020, $1 million in prizes. Go over, get your entry in. You've got a bit of time to do it. It's not a super mega rush, but they've just opened it up now, so definitely go and check it out. Rightio, Alan Wallace, if you haven't watched Alan Wallace, he's an astrophotographer from Britain. He's a very smart dude, does a great job, awesome photographer. He's got a great channel, and I get a lot of my astrophotography tips and tricks from him, and very cool. He's teamed up with Kase filters, so your ND filters, or you've got the night sky filter. I use the Nissi filter for mine, and it's awesome. I love it. Well, he's teamed up with Kase, which is a brand, Kase. They do a Wolverine one, so it's an impact, shock resistant, scratch resistant type lens. He's teamed up to do a star glow filter. It's taken a couple of years, I think he said on his video today, and it's a clear filter that you put on. It only comes in a square type. It doesn't have a round one as yet. Slide that in, and when you're taking those astro shots and you're taking the Milky Way or whatever, if you're taking other photos of different stars, and you normally, like, all the stars are the same color and clarity, and that's fantastic. It's nice and clear, but there's so many of them when you take a photo. I think you don't realize with your eyes how many there are out there. Well, this star glow is going to make those big bright ones really pop. He's got a couple of images on his latest video. You can go check that out. It looks pretty cool. It is, I'm not going to lie to you, it's expensive. I think it was £120, so it's about $240. So it's not a cheap, under $100 Australian lens filter or anything like that, but I think it's definitely worth going to check out if you're doing a lot of night sky stuff and you're looking to make those images just stand out. It does give a bit of a soft glow to it, but some of the images he did have up look pretty darn trick, so definitely worth checking out. If you go check out his video, it's Alan Wallace, ALYN, and then Wallace, just standard spelling. You'll see that in his latest video, just come up today. And you can have a look at that star glow filter, and it might be something that helps you out with your night sky stuff. Rightio, lucky last, I'll save the best for last. In Australia, we've had a few dickheads that have decided to, we've got the Karens, and I think the Karens have spread across the world now, the dickhead Karens that was getting upset because they couldn't walk because of COVID. It was just upsetting. They couldn't get out and just walk, so that was no fun. And then other stuff, and then one tried to go into a Bunnings, which is our hardware stores, and pull, quote, rules and procedures and things when they asked her to wear a mask and she refused. Just being a dickhead and trying to be a smart ass to put it on Instagram and all that to get famous. Well, they have got famous. Another one was a Eve Black. This dickhead decided she would drive through a quarantined checkpoint. We've got a few checkpoints where you can't get from states that have got some issues with COVID into other states that have cleaned up and done really well and a little bit more freer and open. Well, you've got to go through these quarantine checkpoints, show your paperwork to say that you're okay and you've been tested and stuff like that. Well, she put live up on her Instagram, I think it was, or it was on Facebook. I seen it, the first one, and the copper asked, had she had the papers and all this, and she quoted all this, so you can't ask me for that, you blah, blah, blah. The act of 1924 when the donkeys overtook the Turks in Gibraltar, sailing on the spaceship Motherland. By that right, you can't ask me these questions. All that sort of bullshit that dickheads decide they can just waste people's time instead of just doing the right thing. No one likes this at all. People are suffering. People are over it well and truly, but they're still doing the right thing, because if it saves one life, it saves two lives. That's two lives that get saved, and that's why we're doing it. Well, funny, it all come back. Murphy's Law, you be a dickhead, it'll come back and bite you on the ass. She tried it again, had her mate in the car, boyfriend or whatever, filming it, and pulled up at the checkpoint, started rattling off all this bullshit again. And the copper wasn't having any of this, and she keeps her window up with just a gap down. So anyway, when she refused to answer any questions and do all the things that the police had asked them, which I'm not 100% of the rules and procedures, but they smashed her window in, dragged her out of the car and arrested her, and have charged her with a shit ton of fines. So I'm hopeful she made a packet out of that first video or this second video if they put that up because, she's going to probably lose all that and a bit more and, do a bit of jail time. So good on her. What a legend. And just on that, look, people, as I said, people are over it. Everyone's had enough of this. I've had enough of it. Everyone in my work's had enough of it. We've got people doing 6 weeks away. Some people haven't been home for 3-4 months to see their family just so they can keep their job, to pay the bills, so they don't have to go on JobKeeper and all the other crap. My sister lost her job. She's cleaning the streets of Melbourne and stuck in her house. No one wants to do it. We just got to do it. It's driving us all freaking insane. Don't go if you think you're going to go and do something stupid like one of these dickheads. Just remember, the internet is everywhere. They're gonna catch you. Someone's going to film it. Someone's going to make a packet out of you being a dickhead on their Instagram or their Twitter, or they'll get famous because you're a wanker. So it's just not worth it. Walk away. Walk away, take a breath. It's all for people's lives. That's why we're doing this, to save it. Doesn't matter if we save 10 or 20. And you look, we'd probably lose 10 million times the amount of people smoking and all the other shit in life that's bad. But for whatever reason, we're doing this, so we need to get it done so we can get back to normal. And once this friggin' vaccine comes out in October or November, or whenever it comes, hopefully October, those guys in England are not far off, we can get back to a little bit more normal. And that's about it. Righto. I'll see you all again tomorrow for Friday's show. Stay safe, stay sane, and just answer the policeman when you get to the checkpoint. That's the best bet, I think. Rightio. We'll be going that way. I'll catch you on Friday, tomorrow. Peace.